governments are the largest companies in the world. They spend the most money. The Olympics are coming to Brisbane. I was at a summit event recently, a couple of weeks ago, and the new CEO of the Brisbane Olympics spoke, as well as the Sydney CEO, the former CEO of the Sydney Olympics at the time, and just talking about the amount of money, that is spent in relation just to the Olympics, let alone the entire state budget for Queensland. And by far, the Queensland government is the largest spender compared to any other corporation, and it's the same generally the world over. And the leaders of those large entities, governments, if they were ideal, we would see a lot of these issues in more balance, in more harmony, not likely perfect, but more harmonised than the disparity that's so evident at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're having a philosophical conversation here. It's an ideal. The reality also needs to be accepted and worked with. And we talked about Michael Saylor earlier, CEO of MicroStrategy. You can tell me as an expert, your view and if I'm on track here. But my understanding of one of the things MicroStrategy can do well is they do use very large amounts of debt to leverage greater gains. And one of Michael Saylor's expertise is he wasn't always into crypto, obviously, because crypto's come in only in the last decade recently strongly, but he's an experienced investment professional, and MicroStrategy was there as a business prior to crypto coming in, as I understand. But he uses debt, huge amounts of debt, many billions of debt, to leverage purchasing larger amounts of Bitcoin and holding Bitcoin for the long term. So you've got to make a choice right now in 2025. The world's not suddenly going to be equitable. Are you going to embrace debt and use it to create greater gains down the track, ideally, obviously, for yourself and your family, but ideally for a larger circle if you can? That's probably the right philanthropic approach right now versus trying to shift to an equitable world even in our lifetimes. But I still wonder what seeds can be planted now by individuals with those sorts of ideals that might eventually bear fruit some generations down the track.
Yeah, you know what, David? I think it also starts at the school level. Like we've got a generational change that we need to take full responsibility for. Because if we believe at Ainslie, and we're following a lot of people worldwide, that there is going to be a major change economically, financially. There's going to have to be something happening soon. There's a lot of things that are bubbling away underneath the surface that you may not be aware of, but this whole COMEX thing that's happening at the moment with the futures on gold and silver, we've never seen what's occurring at the moment ever before. The way that the paper traded, the ETF side of gold and silver versus the physical, and how people can just lend and lease and borrow without no real need to have the physical on hand. That's right now at a bubbling point which could blow over. And if that blowover has got a potential, some of the commentators on X are saying that it has the potential of destabilizing the entire world. There is a lot of things that are occurring financially right now that may lead to this way that people have borrowed debt to buy assets to get ahead. That may actually, that could be one of the causes of the problem, because it's just a never-ending path to where does it end. And you see some of the statistics and some of the data that's coming out around the world. It's not a great position for the world to be in, but like you said, it's the position we're in, and how do you navigate through that as best you possibly can at the moment, but also set yourself up for when that change does occur. You've got the assets around you that will do well in that time.